Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Evil Within, the assignment DLC, KURAYAMI difficulty video walkthrough. This is the end of Chapter 2, Crossing Paths. We are now taking on the boss fight, which is Joseph. This is an interesting fight, guys. So, I mentioned in the last video that this guy killed me 9 times. Did he kill me 9 times because this is tough? No. He killed me 9 times because when he grabs you, it doesn't instantly kill you, and there is no restart checkpoint option. So I would stand and let him grab me till he killed me so I could restart, because I wanted to get a run here where he didn't grab me. I can tell you folks comfortably that this guy has to grab you at least 3 to 4 times to kill you. If you can't do this in 3 to 4 mistakes, you're probably, gonna be here a while. But there's no real reason. All you have to do, grab an axe, find him, get behind him, make sure he doesn't know you're there, and execute him. Do that 3 times and you've won. It's that simple. However, the lack of visibility here is really, really tricky. And when he sees you, he is nowhere near as strict as, was it Michael from The Last of Us? So you can run away from this guy and actually get away. You can even kite yourself around a piece of geometry like you would as a child playing Tig around a car, and you can get the better of him. And the path is completely random. What you do is entirely up to you, and there is an achievement here for not activating these electronic equipment which lure him into checking them out, and then you can execute him. However, I accidentally press one when I'm trying to get in or out of cover, and it fucks with my pattern and it ruins this from being that kind of run where I could have done that. But suffice to say, this is just going to be me versus him without that electronic stuff, and that one was a mistake, so it's more than doable, but don't do it on this difficulty just for the sake of, brevity. You can't see, like, these moments here are easy on Survivor because you can see him. You don't need to stick your torch in his mouth to know where he is. But on this, a lot trickier. And I definitely think it added an interesting dimension, but this is just, it's just whatever it is. This is where it gets a little tricky now, because I didn't get fortunate with RNG. I pick up this axe, I go back to my safe spot, which is next to that cupboard, and he runs into this room. I could have got lucky here, and he could have walked towards me, I could have kited this, and I could have stabbed him in the back, and we would have been done. But that's not how it works, you see. The motherfucker ran exactly where I was, which, God, that winds me up. And then it becomes bloody psycho then, because he's chasing me down. And I have to peek out to see him, and then I have to make a, shall we say, an educated guess on, is he going to rush me down or is he going to flank me? And here he comes again, and he's running again. So I have to stand because she crouch walks too slow. And that was it, guys. I tried to go into cover, and the bitch turned on a projector. And I couldn't tell you, like, why. I didn't want that, but that's what I got. Like, I didn't even know what these machines did at this point, because I just thought that achievement was... I thought they were traps, actually. I didn't think they were projectors. So this gets a little nerve-wracking now. I heard him on the left then, so I'm going to stand my ground. So the thing to bear in mind as well, the darkness is cosmetic. It doesn't affect the gameplay. The gameplay is just the same as it was in Survival, with the same visibility lanes for the AI. So at the moments where it looks like you're in darkness, and well, you're always in darkness, but it looks like you might have the advantage, you kind of don't, because the AI doesn't see what we see. And that projector has thrown this balance off, because it's made him delay, and it's made him change his path. And I can hear him, and he's closer now. Good old, is it Yuri Lowenthal? Oh, he's there. So we just catch sight of him. Right, he's walking now. You'll notice. A little bit more steady. Be careful popping out when he's close, because he will see you. That could have gone better, but I kind of bailed. He shoots at me, he gets nothing. And I'm going to try and get back into a position of power, which is this little island here. I like this one. And he's coming, and he knows. So we need to be careful. So instead of going up against cover, I'm going to listen out for his footsteps and try and kite him. Because this is easy to do when you can see, because you can just manipulate the fact that you've got a camera and it's third person, you can see him. But when it's like this, it's much trickier. Because if you shine your torch on him directly, it alerts him. So he's coming this way. That was bullshit. Can I get him? Can I get him? Come on, Chris, get him. I think this is it. I commit. Yes, this is it. Commit, and we've done. So, it's pretty tense, it's pretty tricky, but there's no reason to die on it. Like, the only reason I was letting myself die is because I wanted it to be cleaner. There's no point in me having a massive dirty fight against that enemy, because it's supposed to be a guide, you know. And on a guide, I aspire to be the best of all of us, you know. It's kind of that objective good. That's what guides are meant to be, unless there's an ego behind it or some kind of ulterior motive. Ooh, I make a mistake here. I go directly for the puzzle piece before triggering the puzzle piece to appear. There is where it will be. However, it's not there until Nicole Kidman has spotted Leslie, and Leslie's ran away and the door's locked. Kind of arbitrary scripting and pathing, but it's just the way games work, guys. The lighting here, once again, is absolutely stellar as I blow my load, because for some reason Mrs. Kidman cannot run for toffee, and I'll never understand it. Do they have COPD? You know, do they have some kind of emphysema? Some kind of worse thing? I don't know, iron lung? I don't even know what is worse. They're degenerative lung diseases. They fucking suck. What I do know is, like, I do not run. I'm not a runner, guys. I used to be a runner when I was younger, but nowadays it's not something that I generally do. You know, can I run if need be? Yeah, I can hit some 100 meters, maybe 200 at a push if somebody was chasing me. But then I'm probably good to lay down for a small while. But even I could run longer than these bitches. It's just so archaic, dude. And people to this day still defend that mechanic in my Akumu no upgrade walkthrough. And they never do it gracefully. It's never an intelligent perspective of somebody saying, this is why the mechanic is this way, and I think this is why it was implemented. You know, they never do it like that. They're never the civilized scholar sharing their perspective. They're always the, oh, go back and play Call of Duty, kid. Like, I was playing Call of Duty before you were fucking born, dude. Sit down, dickhead. You're so stupid. Like, I was playing Call of Duty before there were prestigious bitches. But I never understand that immediate need to insult. You know, I can understand it from a joke perspective, but half the time on the internet, some of these people are too stupid to joke. Because they only know, you know, direct, straight, literal answers. It's like fucking idiocracy made real. But as we came here, you'll remember this place, because this is the village that you come through as Sebastian. I thought this was going to lead to that cage with the dog. And I was really worried, actually, because I do not like that dog. The timing on that shotgun shot on my walkthrough is pretty damn tight. You check the comments, see how many people can't do it. It's not easy to do that, guys, but it's very effective, and that's why I kept it in. But luckily enough, you do not have to mess with it, and here is a save point. So you get to stroke the cat, which is not a euphemism. Unfortunately, Miss Kidman is an attractive lady. A couple of viewers have mentioned that the bars are one of the things that make them miss a lot of things, which is pretty much the focus on them. It's to make the view tighter and obfuscate, you know, clarity, to make it trickier, and it works wonders. It really does. I think I'm at that point where I've played a little bit too much Evil Within. The bars don't do anything to me anymore. I'm kind of used to it. When I first played this game, there was an hour or two where I didn't know whether or not I was going to like it because of the bars, and a lot of people can't understand that, but to me, there's literally nothing worse than taking away my ability to see. Like, that's why I think that this difficulty is annoying rather than fun, because the killing how much I can see, and this room is really reinforcing just how little you can see in the darkness. And it's similar with the bars, but I came back to this game having not played it since, when did this game come out? I can't even remember. Was it August? September? I recorded my guide, I got the achievements and everything, I played a ton of it, I enjoyed it. And then I didn't touch it until now. And I came back and I got back into the swing and didn't even spot the bars. So it's something that you can literally turn into white noise if you play it enough, guys. But here is my strategy, and this works wonders. These next few rooms you're going to see are all off the same life, because as I've mentioned, I had a lot of success with this walkthrough. It isn't that difficult, guys, once you know what you're doing. But go through the wall, pick up the bottle, then throw the bottle over there. All three of these haunted are going to walk that way, and they're going to walk into a cadaver that's going to start killing them and exploding. You'll get an achievement if you haven't done that, and you're able to sneak past. However, something goes a little awry here because I can't quite judge my distance to where the door is, so I end up walking a little bit short, and I go a little too close to the haunted, which you don't have to do. The door's to my left, but for some reason I think it's to my right. Darkness is a bitch. So I go that way, I'm like, whoa, that's wrong, and there is the door. Don't worry about any fancy opening. As soon as you touch this and you go through, it's going to shut, and you're fine, and you're going to get a checkpoint. So, second room. Here is a bunch of dudes, and then a gate with Leslie. All you have to do here is move to the left through this area, hit the bell, and then flank all the way back, and then hit the gate. I've done this twice, and I had two different completely different results. On the first time, when I rung this bell, I had a free and clear path to go all the way back to the gate, and I don't know if it's because I waited longer, or if it was just different pathing. I couldn't tell you folks, but on this recording, somebody sees me. Somebody who shouldn't have been where they were sees me, so you want to be careful if you get spotted. But the good news is, I recover really well, because I already know that the AI all wants to get up on this bell. They're all coming here. This is the priority. So I just run, and I make it to the gate, and I get through fine. But I did discover something. If you make noise, or if you get detected, something along those lines, the crypt will open up and cadavers will climb out, and that did not happen last time, because as I mentioned, this woman here wasn't there. So for some reason, she's patrolling this way. I don't know why she did that, so I'm like, fuck it. Start running, hit this, and then boom. That dude turns up, I want nothing to do with him, sprint past him, sprint over here, hit this gate. Oh god, that sucked so bad. That was a nervous moment. And then when you touch this gate, I think as long as nothing's close, you should be fine. And I'm kind of just like, am I going to fail? Am I going to fail? Am I going to fail? Don't fail, don't fail, we've done it. And I think at this point you've done it. So, you've pretty much done the trickiest parts of Chapter 2. I think Chapter 2 is much easier, but that's just because I stumbled upon these paths really quickly. So, we're going to be moving towards the church. We're going to be going through a graveyard. We're going to be solving a puzzle. And then we're going to be playing hide and seek with a giant. And it's a wonderful twist on your expectations, the graveyard area. Because you know, as a player who's played, you know, through the campaign, that in that graveyard there are two giants called like Zan and Pan or something daft. I never remembered the names. And you know they're there, you know exactly where they are, and you're ever conscious that they're going to make an appearance somehow. Even though you can't kill them, because of course they turn up for Sebastian, and this is out of sequence, but then again, continuity and Evil Within, I just don't think it gives a shit. So, the entire time you're shitting your pants thinking that these giants are going to turn up, and then the beautiful thing is, they don't. And I love that. And of course, if you've not played it and you're listening to this, I've just spoiled it for you, which sucks. But there's been a few people in the comments saying that they can't watch because they want to play it themselves. And that's the best way to be, guys. Do not feel bad about not watching my content. It's going to be here as long as YouTube will host it. Like, I don't know how YouTube handles content, or when it deletes it, or when it doesn't delete it, but I'm hoping to be like a 70-year-old man listening to my ignorant, you know, mid-20-year-old self talking shit on these videos. Which, who knows? It could happen. But here is the puzzle. So you're going to need some statues. To get the statues, you have to shine your torch on certain crypts. This is all theatre, this, guys. You are in no danger here. There are no enemies. There is something inside that chest, inside that crypt. Sorry, it's like a chalice of some sort. Speaking of chalices, it is officially what, 13 days till Bloodborne. That is less than 2 weeks. That is incredibly exciting. Have yet to pick up my PS4, but I'm going to be doing it very shortly. And then on the 18th, maybe the 19th, I'm going to be going to a shop and kindly asking them to break street date for me if they've got the shipment in. If they don't have the shipment in, I'll ask when it is in, and then I'll be coming back with more money. And hopefully I'll be able to get that game early and start the blind playthrough, which everybody's looking forward to. And at this moment in time, have you noticed how there's no footage leaked? Nobody's got the game yet, so it could literally be a blind playthrough as opposed to I've watched, you know, somebody beat the game like I did with Dark Souls 2. But keep on moving through here. I've got a really weird sensation in my nose and it makes me want to snort, but I don't want to do that because of course I'm recording and it sounds horrible. And I could stop, but I don't need to. I can man through this. See what I mean though when I say it takes a little bit too long? You know, it's one of those mechanics that it's very simple. Like, you shine your light on something and it changes. It doesn't have to be hold it for as long as that is. There are no situations where you're doing it under duress, so I can't understand why it's that slow. Just a choice, I guess. But the trick here is in this letter. At 5 came a plague, so you want to put the plague face on. 7, the mother turned to the church. 14, the angel. So, cow face. 1 without angel wings, and then 1 with angel wings. And that is your pattern. Really, really simple stuff, guys. Shouldn't be getting stuck on this, hopefully. And then there's your cutscene. Which the guy who did the cinematography is probably really upset, or the director, because you can't see on this difficulty, so you can't see all the hard work that they've put into making, you know, sure all the shots are framed really well and awesomely and creatively and intelligently, which is one of the most fun jobs you can have, in my opinion, especially if you have a good eye for composition, which most creative people do, you know. You don't always have to have the people stood in the middle of the camera. That is the trick, guys. But this is only tricky because you can't see, which is something I've repeated a few times in this run, and it's true. It is a truism. It is a adage, which just listen. Hopefully you've got a good headset or a good TV or surround sound. Surround sound will help you here. There he is. So we're going to wait now to see where he goes. You can probably just bomb this and sprint, but I like to at least, you know, look like I'm doing what it seems like they want you to do, which is sneak a little bit. There was the gate, so now I'm going to run. And I have never ever had any issue in this room. I've never been caught, I've never been killed. I don't know what happens. I assume it's pretty brutal. But he shuts the door,
we should go.
And then we get to move onwards to the church. And this is where things get a little bit stranger. So you get to the church, there's quite a lot of exposition here, and then there is a quick time sequence and an evasion sequence, which is actually tricky in the dark, because beforehand you could use the shadows to show you which direction you had to run, but now everything's covered in shadows, it's a lot harder to see, and I actually died here, which I didn't even know you could. So run away from the G-Man, or depending on your age you might think he looks like Slenderman or some other random suited man. I thought this was quite cool. I didn't understand it, but it's cool-ish. So, I think it's 2 lefts and a right, guys. I think that's the thing I remembered, as Mr. Ticklefingers comes after us. So, as soon as you see the... That's it, turn left. As soon as you see the little artifact, turn left. Left again. And then on this one, there's going to be a bunch of stones that drop. Turn right. And that's it. You're going to get a checkpoint. You've done that first section. Nice and simple. Like, the guy's shadows, he reminds me of Nog from my Final Fantasy VIII playthrough, his bloody salad fingers, look at him. And then from this point, there's a really cool mechanic here. I've not seen too much of this in games, or I can't remember seeing it. The shadow's going to reach out for it. Depending on which side it's on, you need to dodge to the other side. And it's a simple thing, but I think it's a really cool piece of, like, cinematic gameplay. I liked that a lot. And then that's the end of the DLC, guys. So, let's have a see how we did. There's clear 2. KURAYAMI. There it is, not afraid of the dark. 136, 10 deaths. 9 of them on that douchebag, 1 of them on a trauma. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I will see you in the consequences, whenever that drops, when we're once again playing as Nicole Kidman, trying to get away from the omnipotent shadow of Tom Cruise. And I'm off now to record a blind playthrough of Hotline Miami 2. So thank you very much for watching, and you take care now.